Welcome to the Corpus Christi Public Libraries Crafters Corner.
For today's project, we will be learning how to make a decorative garland out of tissue paper tassels. The supplies you'll need are some tissue paper, a hot glue gun and glue sticks, something to cut with. Regular scissors will do just fine, but if you have a rotary cutter, that will work a little bit better. A ruler and something to put your tissue paper tassels on. We've used 3mm macrame cord for our example, but you could also use some jute or twine or even some yarn. To start off with, you're going to take one of the sheets of tissue paper and you are going to fold it in half. And then you're going to fold it in half again. And just give it a little bit of a crease there. Then open it up. And this crease that we've made here, that's where we're going to cut these two in half. Okay. So one sheet of paper will make 2 tassels. Once you've cut the sheet in half, you are going to make sure that the folded side is facing away from you. And you're just going to take your ruler here, and we're going to make some cuts up to the 2-inch mark. So just take that and roll it along, and you'll see it opens it up. And my strips are about 1/4 to 1/2 inch wide. You can make them bigger or smaller depending on the size of tassel you want to make. Okay, so just keep going along with that until you get to the end. Once you have all of your strips cut, you're going to open up your tissue paper so that it's nice and flat, and you want to make sure that all the strips are nice and out. They're not going to be tangled up or anything. And we're going to start here on the side closest to you, and we're going to slowly roll it till we get here. And as we roll it, we're going to make sure that our strips don't get tangled up on each other. All right, so let's give it a start. Just give it a little tiny fold, a couple more. Check on your tassels there. Okay, we are all done rolling up the tissue paper. We're just going to make sure that all of those tassels, all those little strips that we cut, are nice and neat. Okay, so now we're going to pick it up and we're going to twist this center solid section. So we're going to start in the middle and we're going to work our way to the outside just before where those strips begin on this side, and then we'll start again from the middle. And we'll twist until just before we get to the strips on this side. And to twist, you're just gonna twist. Nothing special, nothing fancy. Give it a couple twists, and then we'll go back to the other side, twist the same way. And you've got a little strip that looks like this now. Okay, so now we need to fold it in half a little bit so that it looks like that. And this bottom piece right here, we need to put a little drop of glue, just a little bit. No, you don't need very much, and be careful because the glue is very hot. So there you go, just a tiny dab. And we're going to take this one and we're just going to press it into it so that it hardens. So that's what it's going to look like. And you've got one tassel put together. So just keep going for as many as you'd like, and then we'll start assembling. Once you've made all the tassels that you'd like to use for your project, it's time to begin to assemble. Begin by placing them in the order that you'd like to use for your project. Now it's time to decide on the length of your garland. Once you've done that, remember to cut just a little bit more for drape and to allow for hanging loops at the end. Once you're ready to assemble, fold your garland at the end, a couple inches, and then just do a simple overhand knot. And there's your hanging loop. Now that I have my hanging loop, I'm going to set it right here next to my ruler, and I'm going to start with threading my tassels onto my garland. So I'm going to take the first one, and I'm just going to put my end that does not have the hanging loop through it, and I'm just going to pull that garland until it comes to the end, and I'm going to straighten it back up. And I want my garland to start here at the 1-inch mark. Now I'm going to take my hot glue gun, and I am going to put a little dab of glue just on the inside top of that tassel. And it's just a tiny bit of glue is all you need. And I'm just going to take the garland and I'm going to press it up against that. And this is going to hold that tassel in place. Okay, so I've got my next tassel color. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the first one, just going to thread it through the hole. And this time, I am going to take that tassel and I'm going to put it here in front of the 4 inches because I want to make sure that I'm spacing them out evenly. And again, I'm going to put a little dab of glue just on the interior top of that tassel, and I'm going to press the rope against it. Okay, so I've got my first two. Now we're going to take our next one and do the same thing. Once you've added all the tassels to your garland, it's time to make the hanging loop for the other end. Just like the other side, we're going to fold it over a couple of inches and just do a simple overhand knot. And there you go, you're all set. Thanks for watching, and join us next week on Crafter's Corner.